All right, here we go. This is video 2, all about the writing and the author. And I know you always doubt yourself and you have imposter syndrome, but you got this. You are an author. You are a writer. But most importantly, you are you. Hello, book amigos, and welcome back. I know I look half the same as I did in the other video. I did switch my sweatshirt out just to add a little bit of difference, But this is part 2 of the 2024 wrap up series. This is the author edition. If you haven't yet, please go back and watch 2024 wrap up book edition so you can be all caught up. So, welcome to the author wrap up of 2024. I want to start by going back to 2023. Around November time, I decided to post a video onto my TikTok account, and I hope that I can include it here. I'm not too sure though because of copyright reasons. There is a sound to it, so I don't know if it will let me. If it does, you have watched it, and if it doesn't, you will not watch it. But in that video, I gave a quick synopsis of what my debut novel is about, right? And that was very nerve-wracking for me because I had not done that previously at all. I had posted about me writing my debut novel, but never went into depth about what it was about. And then come January, I started my first round of edits. Now, you might be asking yourself, how did you start editing? You posted in November, and then how did you start editing so quickly by January? And the truth is that back in 2016, I decided to start a master's in creative writing. And in order to graduate, I had to do a thesis. For my thesis, I had to choose between writing a manuscript or a collection of poetry, and I opted for the manuscript. My manuscript for Without a Choice began in 2016. Yes, you heard that right. It is 2024. That was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 8 years ago. And honestly, probably even more because I think I started Without a Choice before I was even enrolled for the master's program. But it was a long time ago. So I finished my thesis. I finished my manuscript for Without a Choice and I submitted it as my thesis. It was approved and I did graduate. However, that was in 2020 when I graduated. And as we all know, 2020 was a strange year. It was weird. So when I graduated, I put the manuscript away and I let it collect dust. And it wasn't until 2023 that I decided that 2024 was going to be the year that my debut novel would be published. The only thing I didn't do was set a deadline, and I didn't set a date for when I wanted to release Without a Choice. And that is because, honestly, putting dates is unnecessary stress because then one is beating because then you're beating yourself up over not accomplishing or not getting to the deadline you wanted to, or whatever the case may be. And my little magnet lens is falling again. So I didn't do that. Now, I made friends and writing acquaintances throughout the process, and we did a little bit of networking, and we encouraged each other to write and do all these things. But it was very hard for me because everybody seemed to have timelines. Everybody seemed to be like writing and writing and writing and doing all these things, right? And it started to put pressure of it starting to put pressure on me and making me feel like I wasn't doing enough, like I wasn't doing the right thing. And with that came self-doubt, and thankfully I have a good support system. My fiance, I mean, God bless his soul, because he listened to the plot of Without a Choice, the ins and outs over and over again. I kept him up late at night. One of my best friends, The same, I made some book talk friends who also were very, very helpful and always heard me out and all those things. So that was very helpful for me, and honestly, to make the voices in my head be quiet, because the self doubt was real and it was scary, because at one point I thought, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this. And the thing here is, Without a Choice was a one man job, one woman job, I should say. I wrote the story, I did the edits, I did the developmental edits, I did the character edits, I did the plot hole edits, I did the grammar edits, I designed the book covers, I designed, or book cover, not covers. Well, I designed multiple, but I chose one. I designed the book cover. I designed the chapter headers. I did everything by myself. This was a one man job. This right here was all me. And I keep saying man, but I should say woman. This was all me. This is my baby. I wrote and did everything in here. So 2024 was devoted to this. As an author, I spent a lot of time. This is my thesis. And I will say my thesis, I don't want to show this because it has like my name and everything, but it's my thesis. And the contents in this thing, first of all, I don't know how it got approved, because there's a lot of typos and things on here that I was just trying to get done. Again, 2020 was a weird year. But the contents inside my thesis are entirely different than the contents inside my actual novel. The progression, the change, everything is massive, massive, I tell you. And it's crazy for me to see and have the evidence that this is where it started. And this is dated June 2nd, 2019. And how different it became. And that is because from here, the thesis, it went to here. Printed manuscript, and I believe it says first round of edits. Look at the thickness of this. Hold on, let me put you guys on my shirt real quick. So, look at the thickness of this and look at the thickness of this. That's a big difference. So from there, it became this. And another important thing to note is that when I started to do this, I didn't just go back and edit. So I started a completely blank Word document, and I started typing from page 1 when it was my first round of edits. So from here, it became this, but these were two separate documents. So I rewrote everything, every little thing. And then I added notes on here, obviously, when I went back to edit this. But then this became this. I have a binder full of stuff, and it is, it is very, very heavy, but it turned into, I don't know where it's at. That's chapter 2. So I don't know, but there's 2 rounds of edits in here. This is 2 different manuscripts. So in total, I had 4 different manuscripts, and actually I can show you. This was a potential for the book cover, and I thought this was, I can't even take this out. It's stuck on there. This was a potential book cover, but I opted against it. And I chose the one that it has. But it was a process. It was a process. And this was all done. And it still took me a while because this was just the beginning. This was just all of these things that you see here were the beginning. Because then once I finished all this, I was like, okay, now I can edit on my laptop and now I can move forward. And all of this was done throughout the year of 2024. So here, with the exception of my thesis manuscript, this was all done in 2024. This was done in the course of maybe 6 months or so. And I was super proud of myself. In this author wrap up, I feel like I'm being very over explaining everything, but this is a process that wasn't easy. Once I finished that teal binder, this binder right here, then started the edits on my laptop. And that's when things got real. That's when I had to make decisions, and that's when I had to set everything up. And that is when I decided everything that stayed in here. Before getting this, so between this, let me see if the camera moves this way. Between this binder and the book itself, we're talking about 5 rounds of edits or so. So it was a lot of work. And then it became this. I got proof copies, which I have lying around somewhere. They say the not for sale thing across the cover, and it took me a while before I let it sit there. I let it marinate, if you will, and then I made the decision of actually going through and publishing. This is how unorganized I was because I didn't even have a publication date. I didn't know when I wanted to release the book. So I literally waited and I decided August 20th sounds like a good day to me. So I went and I put release, and that was that. August 20th ended up being International Women's Day, I believe. Let me double check. I think that's what it was. And it became available for the public. Now, it's also important to note that a lot of people use beta readers and ARC readers to their benefit, and kudos to them. I didn't. I was terrified of ARC and beta readers because when I was getting ready to release I don't know what yeah, National Woman Day is Latina Day, sorry. So August 20th is National Latina Day, which I am a Latina in all its glory. But anyways, what was I saying? Shoot, I lost my train of thought. I didn't set a date. Oh, I didn't take advantage of beta readers and ARC readers. I had 2 beta readers. One was my cousin's daughter, so I think that makes her my niece, and 2 was my friend Kat. Along the way, I had my Sammy do edits for me and read and just give me feedback on things and just random stuff. But this goes back years. So my Sammy is the one person who read Without a Choice when it was at the stage of my thesis manuscript. So she has seen both worlds of Without a Choice. And the reason why I was so terrified of using the beta readers and ARC readers and all that stuff is because while I was getting ready to release Without a Choice, there was this whole thing on the book talk community of indie authors being done wrong. Piracy is a thing, and there was a lot of things of like ARC readers were stealing content, books, and pirating them and things like that. And honestly, that was stress that I did not want to carry on my shoulders. I did not need that kind of stress, so I opted out of it. The two people who read for me, which was Kat and Anelli, they gave me their honest feedback. They told me exactly what they thought, and they loved it. They really, really loved it. So I took it and I ran with it. And that is why I just released Without a Choice on a random day, which worked out in my favor. If I would have planned it, if I would have tried to plan something meaningful, it wouldn't have happened. But I released on August 20th, 2024, which so happened to be National Latina Day. So, with that being said, I did release Without a Choice on KDP. I am an indie author. It is self-published. And I did not release an ebook. That is probably the biggest mistake I have made, but I do not regret it one bit. Why? Because again, the way these novels are being pirated is because they are on electronic formatting. And if you read the exclusivity clauses and everything that comes with KU, it's a lot and it's stressful. And I was selfish, and I am selfish, because I wanted to enjoy the release of my debut novel to the full capacity that I possibly could. I didn't want to worry about being pirated on some weird internet site. I wanted to worry about being happy and being content with the release of my novel. That's exactly what I did. So I don't regret it. Was it a smart choice? Is it a smart choice? No, it's not. But I don't regret it one bit, because it worked out in the end. At least for me, it did. So, with that being said, Without a Choice is available for purchase on Amazon. If you guys want to check it out, go ahead. I will link it in the box at the bottom. You can always grab yourself a copy. I will read the blurb to you really quick. So this is my debut novel, Without a Choice, and the blurb reads as follows. We've all heard the story of someone who chased and achieved their dreams, but have you ever heard the story of someone whose dreams were shattered from the moment they were born? My debut novel, Without a Choice, follows the story of Tori, a 22-year-old born in Cuspala, Zacatecas, Mexico. Tori's dreams were revoked when her parents decided to bring her to the United States of America as an infant. She grew up believing that she was a citizen of the land of the free and the home of the brave. The political climate of 2015 forced her parents to tell her that she was in fact an alien to this country. Around this time, she was wrongfully accused of an incident that happened at work, which led to her deportation. In Cuspala, Zacatecas, she was met with culture shock and many obstacles. Her world once again came crashing down as her lawyer abandoned her. She had to navigate through an identity crisis, I don't know if I can say this word on here, homophobic environment, and a toxic family. But most importantly, she had to find a way back to the place she called her home. Will she overcome all the obstacles? Will she make it back home? Will she finally have a choice or continue on a path without one? And that is the blurb for my debut novel, Without a Choice. I'm not trying to sell this to you, but I have to do what I have to do, because this is, again, I'm doing this all by myself. I don't have an agent. I don't have nothing. I do the marketing. I hustle day in and day out. I have to do the marketing for Without a Choice myself. And it's paying off. It's paying off. And that's exactly why I'm doing this right now, right here, right now. So, 2024, August, that's when Without a Choice was available for purchase. What did I just say? August 20th, 2024 was when I released Without a Choice, and this chapter of my life was closed. I was hit with sadness and depression because I didn't know what to do anymore. Like, Without a Choice has been a part of my life since 2016. It's been a very long time. Even probably, I think I said earlier, I might have started Without a Choice before 2016. I'm not even entirely sure, if I'm being honest. But then I started a new project. And this project has flourished, and I have started writing, and honestly, starting from zero is hard. It really is. I love the editing process, but getting that full manuscript, first draft, is intense. There are days when I'm like, I don't know how I wrote Without a Choice. I have no idea how I did this, but here we are. We're starting from zero, and I have a good amount of work done. So this novel, I'm hoping for it to be released in the near future. I have no idea. Maybe 2025, maybe 2026. Not sure. But that's been the journey. And what else have I been doing writing wise? So based off of AuthorTube, I started this YouTube channel, and I'm trying to build a community of readers and authors and things like that, or people like that with the similar interests, just because this is a very solitary thing. So I do want to be better at this stuff. I can show you a little binder that I have going for my next project. This camera is following me everywhere. I have a mock-up of the cover, but I don't want to show you guys that just yet. You might have seen it. I don't know. I don't do a very good job at hiding it. But this is what I have printed so far. I only have like 30 pages, and I do have more on my laptop. I'm at a total of, I can tell you guys right now how many words. I am at a total of 15,652 words, which is amazing. I think I just showed you guys the mock-up cover. It's okay. I don't like being secretive. I don't know how to be secretive. But yeah, that's my wrap-up for 2024. I guess in a quick summary, 2024 wrap-up for author edition is I edited the heck out of my debut novel, and I worked day in and day out, and I read this book at least 10 times until I got it to where I wanted it to be, and I released it. That is the highlight of 2024. And with that being said, chase your dreams. If you are an indie author out there working on your debut novel, don't stop. Keep going, because when you hold it, it's a feeling that I just can't explain. And I know I teased in the other video that I have an announcement coming up, and I do have an announcement, but I'm gonna just tell you guys. Oh, I feel like I have to sneeze. I'm gonna just tell you guys. I'm an indie author, and I have talked to people day in and day out. I have networked. I asked questions, and those questions led me to Barnes and Noble. Back in January of 2024, the local Barnes and Noble had its grand opening, and when I walked in there, I said, "What do you guys do for indie authors?" And I was hit with I don't know, we're not there yet. I said, "Okay, I'll be back," and I manifested that I wanted to be at that Barnes and Noble as a local author, and I am pleased to announce that Without a Choice and me, of course, are going to be doing a book signing event January 25th, 2025 at the local Barnes & Noble. So if that's not manifesting, I don't know what is. You guys can do it. If I did it, you guys can do it. And that's why I'm doing this video. I know this video is probably not going to be anybody's cup of tea. It's going to be long. It is long and just chatty. But this was my wrap up at Author Edition for 2024. 2025, I don't know what it has in store yet. I'm going to keep writing on this novel. And I do have another novel that I do have started. I might revisit it. I don't know yet. We'll see. But for now, I'm celebrating my accomplishments for 2024 because I did a whole lot. If this isn't a lot for you, I don't know what is. I'm gonna lift this. I'm gonna clip you guys down. You know what? I saw people do this way. Is that helpful? Oh, I think it is. Anywho, this is my accomplishment for 2024 right here. And it led me to this. And I am entirely proud of myself. And now we are on to the next. Here is the folder. Here's the stuff. The Word document is going. And yeah, with that being said, I'm going to end this video here. Again, I know this was chatty. If you made it to the end of the video, I really appreciate you, and I am thankful. And please, if you are interested in my debut novel, Without a Choice, go down in the box and hit the link. It is available for purchase on Amazon, and again, I'm going to link that for you guys down at the bottom because that's what I do. Let me know, are you an author? Are you a writer? Have you started your debut? Have you released your debut? Are you an indie author? Let me know down below if anybody else is in the same boat as I am, and let's connect. Let's make this like a networking site kind of a thing, or video kind of a thing, just because I know there's a lot of us, and this is a very lonely job. It's very lonely, and that's why I think we need to navigate this author world together and cheer each other on. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video, and don't forget to leave the comment, thumbs up, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I will catch you in the next one. Toodles!